I need to remember to unmute myself on the fucking stream. Hey everybody, it's Monday night with technical difficulties and City of Mist. For fuck's sake. Good evening! We're all doing great.
We are doing great.
Sanity is
as you can tell by the Christmas pajamas in June.
Yes.
Doing great.
And I'm walking
So
around.
great.
I'm sitting here with my fucking forehead exposed. Right.
Yeah, put that away.
Jesus, Jonathan, you can't show that in front of the children.
Would someone think of the children?
Cover it with something more wholesome.
The rumours of Jay's forehead have been argued for centuries.
Do I
I
have
thought
a
you were gonna
third
say the
eye, or
rumours of
am I
Jay's
just
forehead.
heavily make-upped over it?
I thought you were
But
going to
most
say
people
that
do
the
agree
rumours of Jay's
that his
forehead have
forehead-
been...
More spicy.
Most people agree that my forehead should not be displayed to society. Alright. So. Last time. Things were a bit mental. Because we had, let's see, burning buildings, Mal getting killed for longer than you'd expect. Lots of flooding, people running away, and an important conversation between Effie and Mr. Peter Finch. But as our characters gather and begin to launch their sort of full assault upon Don Caligieri, I wonder why I'm telling you all of this when I can just have Vary take it away.
Alright. Let me get this straight here. So, after we managed to get Caligieri's daughter out of the city, granted, Cal produced a bar of gold, we had McLean dealing with a burning building, and lifts up Mal. Someone's not exactly here. Oh, yes, you kissed me without my consent, which I'm still quite pissed off about. And after all of this, you knew my background, and you said we're married? If we are married, I want a divorce because you should have fucking came to me and said stuff. I am so fucking furious with you right now. I've been in the mist for so long, and you've never came anywhere near me, and you could have helped me. But no. We've been dealing with Caligieri, we've been dealing with fire, we've been dealing with all this shit! We've fucking got assassins after us! And now at the most inopportune moment, you tell me you know everything.
And that's where we are now. Yeah. Okay. So things are a little bit heated. I believe the exact scene we're at is we are outside, uptown, with Mal currently lying with her head caved in on a bench as Effie and Peter have an involved discussion, shall we say.
A domestic.
It's not a domestic if it's in public. Then it's causing an affray. At the very least,
Oh,
a
I'm
breach
gonna
of the peace.
fucking cause a fray, and he's gonna flee.
It's not like I knew everything, okay? But
You had your opportunity. I asked you in that basement if you knew anything, and you decided no. No, I'm not going to say anything. I left my wife abandoned in the mist because I thought it was a better idea than helping someone that's just arrived.
Look. I had a choice to make, and it was between helping you and dealing with the bastard who put you in that position in the first place.
All right, explain that then.
Back in the day.
Why can I not remember anything?
Back in the day, Caligieri had made a point of going after the families of people who opposed him. And I thought I was safe from that. Right up until the moment that I used to work for him.
Fan-fucking-tastic, Pierre.
He gave me a job to do, and I said no. And he didn't exactly take kindly to that. I don't know what he did to you. I don't know how he did it. But by the time I found you, everything was already over. And honestly, I figured you stood a better chance on your own than you did standing next to me, because I was going to kill the bastard. And, I don't know, maybe I didn't think it was a good idea to put somebody I cared about in the line of fire again.
Are you fucking kidding me? You abandoned me. If you had assisted me, we could have actually fought him together. Now we're in this fucking mess.
No, we couldn't.
And you've decided to be a fucking hero. I searched for who I was for years. You watched me throughout the entire city. My reputation, I know you fucking know my reputation, is far and wide. And even then, Caligieri thought I was dangerous. And you know what I did? I didn't fucking run away. I stood with my group. I stood with my family.
And what about the old lady, huh? What about her? You told her to hide, and that was it. And she still got in trouble. I don't know what happened to you in there. I thought you were a sleeper, you were safe. I thought, and I was wrong, clearly. And I also figured that any association you had with me would have just put you in far more danger, and you being a complete unknown, nobody knowing about who the fuck you were, because I guarantee you, he didn't fucking know until he had that shitweasel look into it for him. And only because of that particular shitweasel, whom, by the way, you murdered!
What shitweasel?
Marco!
Oh yeah, I killed him good.
Yeah!
Does explain why I always had a fear of him.
Look. I decided that I was going to go after Caligieri, and when the dust cleared and that was all gone and dealt with, you were already someone else.
I didn't have a choice in that fact.
Neither did I!
At least you knew what the fuck was going on! I didn't have a choice! You want to come at me? Fucking come on then, because I know a few fucking guys, but this one right here really wants to rip the head off you because I swear I am so lost. I don't even know if you're telling me the truth. You could be making this up for all I know.
You really think I'm that cruel? Really?
Honestly, with everything that's going on, I don't know.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to look at somebody that you love and to not recognize them at all? Because you just don't recognize anybody. You don't know anything. You didn't know who I was. Every time. You always knew who I was, no matter what face I was wearing. I watched you. And like by the time anything was done, you were someone else. You're not my wife anymore. She's gone. And now I have to fucking look at you walking around wearing her face, using her voice. Do you think that was easy? Do you think I could even... I could barely stand to face you. Only reason that... The only reason that any of this has been brought to a head, the only reason I have had to fucking step out of the goddamn shadows is because you went looking for me and you didn't know it was me. You happened across me while I was trying to save your life, while I was trying to deal with something that would have ended all of us. You had me in that cellar.
Effie's just going to sit down next to Mal.
You had me tied up in that cellar with a monster on my back. Came down there, and again. You are walking around with a personality, wearing a face and a voice that doesn't belong to you, and I know a damn thing or two about that.
What the fuck else was I meant to do?
I don't know. But I walked away because it was the best thing for both of us.
How magnanimous of you to make that choice.
Do you actually feel any better knowing that you used to be somebody that you have become so far away from?
I still don't know anything about the person I was.
Because you're not her. And I don't think you ever want to be her again. Because that's not...
What?
That's not who you've become. That's not the path you're walking anymore. Everything has changed. And you're this woman now. You're fast,
I
you're
had
smart,
to
you're
make
cruel.
sure.
There's only one, and only one of those were you ever before.
I'm cruel.
Yeah.
I'm cruel.
Oh, I have seen how you behave to some of the guys you know. And okay, yeah. Some of them were dirt. But don't pretend like you're a fucking saint.
Oh, I'm no fucking saint. I know that much at least. But I done what I had to survive. I had no one I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had no support. It wasn't until I found this bar that I was able to grasp what the fuck was going on. All I knew.
And how did you
was
find the bar
guys.
exactly?
Red.
Exactly. Who was Red's friend? Who helped Red take down Caligieri?
I don't think we're going to agree on this. You feel justified, and clearly we need to sort some paperwork after all of this because it appears that.
Well, legally speaking, both of us are dead, so that doesn't exactly have a problem.
Ah. Okay, Peter, what is it you want to do?
I want to deal with this bastard, and then I want to go away. I would like to go back into doing what I did and not having to endure every single stab of pain that shoots through me whenever I look into your eyes and I don't see my own goddamn wife staring back at me.
How about you tell me about some of my history then? What school did I go to? Did I have any friends? Surely there would have been someone looking out for me other than you. I can't have been totally isolated.
No, you weren't. You'd be amazed at the number of dead people behind you.
Oh, I'm sitting next to one right now who should be waking up soon. Hopefully.
And
So
with
essentially
that... Oh, sorry.
So essentially my entire past is dead.
That house you woke up in.
Hmm.
Been abandoned for years. That wasn't where he grabbed you. At the time, you were at our house where we lived.
Where was that?
South of the river. Old town.
Okay.
You had a few friends over. All of whom were reduced to a fine red mist by the time I got there. I followed the trail that had been left by the people who'd done it, and I got to the house, to that abandoned house, just as you came staggering out. Figured you'd been left alive for a reason, and that reason was probably so that Caligieri could kill you in front of me. So I figured that if I wasn't around, if I didn't directly interact with you at that point, the sadist wouldn't have been able to get his kill. So I contacted Red as fast as possible. She found you, brought you to the bar. It was as safe as you could be made. Then I found out what had happened to you.
What happened?
Your memory. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what was even done to you. I don't even know if you were supposed to survive.
He walked into my office and made me an offer.
That's how you...
And I turned that down. And now he thinks I'm dangerous. Yay.
You did all that yourself.
Someone had to. Look, okay. We're not done. I want to have a conversation more with you about this, even if you don't want to. Think you owe me that much. Agreed?
That's fair. Yeah.
But we need to focus on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And yeah. Effie kinda gives Val a slap in the cheeks. The face cheeks.
And with that, let's move over to Mal's perspective. Now,
Yeah, 'cause what the fuck?
now, dear Malister, the last thing you remember is kneeling on the chest of Alessandro Caligieri, attempting to beat him to death with a cricket bat. The next thing you noticed...
Put cash money open.
The next thing you noticed, you remember a sudden pain in the back of your head, and then nothing. The now familiar nothingness that comes with death. And you find yourself somewhere a little strange. Mal, you find yourself sitting in an open field beneath a tree, completely bare of leaves, grey bark. You look up at a sky dotted with stars. And as you watch, you see shadowy figures move in an almost dreamlike way. They come together. One of them ties a rope to a stout branch. Another suspended from the rope. This all happens fast. Them all moving. And as it ends, they come back. The body falls to the ground. And as you watch, this indistinct figure just slowly disappears into the ground. And from the ground, you see shoots and plants rising, growing, dying, over and over and over again. And you wake up, lying on a bench, Effie smacking your face.
Okay, I'm back.
Effie just kind of
That
looks
was-
at Mal with a grim expression.
Did I die in like a worse way than usual or something? Because I don't usually have freaky ghost visions.
I think Caligieri smacked you in the back of the head from what McLean said.
Yep, okay. Smishing half my brain will do that. I guess. Did we win?
Nah. We came pretty close
Okay.
though.
Well,
But
you're
only
still
against-
here. Is Cal, McLean, or is everyone okay?
Yeah. Physically, yeah, everyone's okay.
So we didn't win, but we also didn't like lose too bad, too hard.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, no, the king's pretty fucked.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's still alive, though?
Yeah. If you can call it that.
Damn.
We're just waiting on number 1 teleporting Yumi and Peter.
Okay.
To the,
Okay.
and you just see a meaningful look between us two.
What? What are you not telling me? What happened while I was out?
Well, that building got flooded. King got set on fire. McLean nearly beat half of Caligieri's men to death.
She's still looking at Effie.
I think you still got your cricket bat, by the way.
Yeah, she's still looking at Effie. Is Effie, like, gonna make any attempt to, like, straighten her face, or...?
And as if on cue, number 1 steps out of the air. Okay. Why is everything tense? Everything's tense. What did I miss?
Nothing
Oh, good, you're alive again.
I have questions.
Well, you also
Don't
have places.
we all?
You guys
Let's
also have places to
fucking
be,
go.
so.
Okay, let's go. But yeah, I've got questions of the spooky ghost vision variety for you at some point. Because apparently, not all my powers are figured out yet. And spooky ghost visions are apparently part of the whole package.
Yeah, they sometimes happen.
Great.
I got one once.
So is there like...
Was
Are they like, you know, they like prophetic, or
Oh,
are
God,
they just
no.
like symbolism, or is it just your brain kind of knitting itself back together? She asks this as she kind of like walks up to him to get ready to leave.
brain knitting
Just
it-
like your brain knitting itself back together.
You're the only one who's immortal, remember?
Cool.
It's just you that does that. Just you.
Yeah, okay. So spooky ghost visions aren't just a death thing, then they're a cards thing.
I mean, I had one once. What was your? I got a guy at a table playing with 3 cups in front of him.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, when I say spooky ghost vision, I mean like spooky and ghosts.
Oh, yeah,
Hanging
no,
someone to a tree, and then like the body like decomposed, and then there was plants, and then the plants died, and then there was more plants, and it was like I was watching something on fast forward. But yeah, that's why I'm being weird. I don't know why the two of them are being weird. They're not. They haven't told me, but let's move on.
Okay, I'm not equipped to handle this. Everybody hold hands.
Okay. She takes one of his hands and one of Effie's.
Effie kinda eyes Peter and holds out her hand.
Peter takes your hand and he's just not making eye contact.
Yeah, Effie looks ahead.
Everybody vanishes. And you all appear in a surprisingly well-lit room.
Why is it surprisingly well lit?
Because for a safe house, you don't expect one of the walls to be entirely made of glass.
Oh, that's interesting.
Are we in a penthouse?
Cal and McLean, I believe, are already here, because that's how we ended the last episode.
Well, in that case, I'll say, whoa, are we in a penthouse?
You look out the window and you find yourselves to be about 50 floors up. In a high-ceilinged, really fucking posh flat. That is one of those really posh ones where it's actually split level. And there's a second floor kind of mezzanine kind of thing going on. And a great grand view out onto most of the city.
Is there a balcony?
No. But present are, let's see. Present are McLean, Cal, a greaser knight that you don't recognize, and who else? Who else would be here at this sort of gathering of people?
Is the knight Jean?
Yes.
Okay.
Any of the Furies?
Wait, who did you say?
You guys and Jean. Who else would be here?
We hadn't done
Morag?
Yeah,
Water
Buck,
lady.
Mark?
Buck is here.
we hadn't done the call to arms yet, had we? We were gonna, but we hadn't done it yet, had we?
I mean,
Well, we can't have told Jean
Yeah.
one to do that.
yeah, you did. And that's why it's taken number one so long to do this.
Yeah, to come back.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
I didn't remember we'd done that yet. No,
I think
Mark,
we did that.
Wonderful.
Cool.
I'm happy to
Winton-
say that we have done that.
Excellent.
What-
Then yes, we
Cal
have
goes, wonderful job,
I will
and
drop
points
you
at
off.
one.
I will drop you off this building.
You can try.
You grab one leg, I'll get the other.
I'm like by the kitchen, by the way. Like I'm sticking my head out from behind the fridge door. I'm just like ransacking.
Yeah, the only
I don't know
problem-
whose place this is.
Only problem is, I'm pretty sure I could drop him. I just think he'd bounce.
Yep.
So,
I need
Is this
to
your place,
drink.
by the way?
no, actually, I believe it belongs to Mr. King.
Ah, he won't mind. And I just sort of like take a bottle of like Coke out of the fridge.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned glass bottle.
Yeah,
Mildred Cola.
and I have
No product placement. No product placement in this stream. Mildred Cola.
Mildred Cola.
Pop.
I start looking around for a liquor
the
cabinet
world famous Mildred.
because I feel like
Cola.
he'd have a big glass liquor cabinet.
Anyway, so
he's
McLean and
already
Cal
found the
are here.
liquor.
McLean, just as a reminder, you do have a skull in your pocket.
I do. I haven't brought it out yet.
Cool. You have a wonderfully informative
'cause-
skull. Buck is
Next
here,
class time.
as is Morag, who is looking. She's looking grey, but okay. And both of her hands are heavily bandaged.
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Lady.
Gladys.
Yeah.
You should probably have got this area.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
She's
yeah,
hella involved.
yeah. I wouldn't say hella involved, but
Her two employees have both been attacked.
that doesn't make
She's probably gonna get herself involved.
Sure,
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't care.
Gladys is sitting fucking ramrod straight spine on the sofa next to McLean. Number one is here. Also, so is I think it's 11 that we dealt with before. 11 strength is there as another representative of. Actually, no, it's not him. The person who's there only Mal would recognize. It's Zero.
Who's here?
Yeah, the sort of skinny, kind of monkey-like golem man. Who
You have such a way with the words, Jay.
who was there when you who kind of guided you into the realm of the cult of cards. He is there currently. He is posted up against the wall, just kind of motoring about. Alex is
Chilling.
here. And is there anyone else you guys would want?
Would Meg
Quentin?
not be
Someone
here?
mentioned.
Meg is still in the
someone
hospital.
mentioned Quentin.
Quentin.
Meg is not here. She is still in the hospital. But
Who's
Alex is
watching
here.
Meg?
Quentin is not here, but there is a laptop open on the coffee table with his face on it.
Of course there is.
I'm surprised it's just a laptop. I assumed it would be like a little robot walking around.
Like a full animatronic.
Just
Laptop swivels.
it's a Roomba.
Anyone else from your adventures that you would consider a good call?
It's not a good call, but it's a funny call.
I had also a funny call.
You go first, because mine's is probably not going to work.
I don't know if I'd call him, but I feel like he might show up.
You want Robin
Robin.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin is hanging by his knees upside down from the mezzanine.
Oh yeah,
I toss him a
of
ball.
course he is.
He catches it, and as he catches it, he lets it go and it turns into a hummingbird.
That's just a waste, man.
What? Hummingbirds are great!
Not indoors.
Well, he's not in a door.
I forgot how difficult it was to talk to you.
Varry? Who are you?
Okay, this is going to stretch your memory a little, I'm not going to lie. Do you remember when we were hunting down Marco, there was an Aussie who was awful at tracking?
The like bounty hunter guy.
Yeah!
Yes!
He was Misty, I think. I just don't remember what his mythos was.
He spoke like this, and was deeply unsure of himself.
I mean, I think it's a bit more Kiwi than Aussie, but
Kiwi than
Yeah.
Aussie, yeah.
it's a bit of a problem. I don't quite. I remember the voice. I remember the character. I don't remember who the fuck he is. But
He showed up for like a episode.
Yeah, what was he there for?
He was there to help me hunt down Marco.
if he's a bounty hunter, he's probably not there.
Ah!
He's probably a lot more likely looking for you.
If he just wanted you to do the Kiwi accent again.
Yeah.
That is fair. Because maintaining a
that's-
Kiwi accent is hard.
I think that's most of the named characters we've met that aren't bad guys.
Yeah.
Or
That's
full
because
time. No.
They're at the very least.
The hacker group wouldn't come here, would they?
No, we hate.
Fives wouldn't move.
You
Five
you wouldn't get
leave.
fives out, but the ghost in the machine that you dealt with before.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Ghost in the Machine is what I was thinking of. I forgot about
They're
that.
working for Caligieri though.
They were.
Well, they're working for a lot of people.
Fair.
Fives
Yeah,
might be on
that
a
was the
laptop.
problem, was the compound.
Fives would absolutely not trust the connection.
No.
He would be routed through multiple proxy servers.
He'd be routed through multiple proxy servers and probably a hijacked satellite.
Yeah.
It's like, technically
And
his IP
for
address is
PDNs.
on the moon. I don't know why.
So is he here?
No.
Today I
Um,
saw
Split
the
screen call. With
Fives is
Gwen.
a sleeper. No, he's not actually. No, he's not. Sorry.
No, he's not.
He is. I've forgotten what his fucking rift is, though.
He's conspiracy theorist.
He's the conspiracy theorist. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
He is.
Absolutely
fun.
not. Then he's definitely not here because this is at. Well, I know. Maybe he would be here because, like, if there's anything that would be a secret cabal, it's you guys.
Yeah, so he'd want to get in on it. Are there cameras in this room? He might not be talking. He might be listening and watching
Yeah,
through
Fives
all
is.
of our phones.
Yeah, there's a. There is another laptop with just a default avatar on it.
There's
And
a
it's
picture
like-
of Tom Cardy like doing the song High Five.
It's like super garbled for like a voice changer
Yeah,
when he talks, or just text appears on the screen.
yeah, it'll just be text.
Beep.
But yeah. So yeah.
Well, I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody here.
Everybody we've ever met.
How would
Well,
you
as many folk as we could pull together. Now, obviously, I don't know all of yous, but yous all know Effie and Mal and Cal. So they're going to do most of the talking, but the main gist of what's going on, I'm sure you've all figured out, is that war is now here. We are now at war with Caligieri. It's pretty out in the open. It's pretty much happening, and we kind of need to end it fairly quickly. Oh, and also, and I pulled the skull out of my pocket and put it on the arm of the sofa and go, sorry, that's one more to the group.
The fuck is that?
No,
What is that?
I think a better question
So,
is who
I've
is
been
that?
told-
Effie
Yes.
hands Peter like a glassy whiskey and just like raises an eyebrow.
So apparently, me being dead and stuff. By the way, for those who don't know you, I'm dead. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Dad.
I did.
These jokes never get old, do they?
That's why they're still
I'm
funny.
like
So-
octuple dead. So
Okay, it's not.
It's not a point card system, Mal. I don't appreciate this. Anyway, 5 deaths and you get a free skull
She sti-
with. that
she
speaks
sticks
to
her tongue out at Cal.
She's like,
I'm just saying, where's my skull?
well,
It's right there.
Where's my skull?
this is Astrid.
Excuse me.
Oh.
She wanted to be part of the meeting.
Yeah, pull the other one. It's got bells on. Astrid's dead.
No, she's
So
not.
am I.
Fucking excuse me.
No, she's not.
Hey, Cal, if you're still pouring those drinks, I could really use one.
I just handed you one.
Just Peter, just be like, I'm going to need
Oh,
another. Tans it.
You might have to say who's talking before
Yes.
you talk, Johnny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
That
listening.
Yeah, sorry, that voice goes is like, I need to
There are
start.
one.
I need to start modulating the accent for Peter again.
Effie just holds out her glass for a top up from Peter.
I've just been like dittering around the room this entire time, getting everyone drinks. I think.
Just Morag sitting in sitting in a big chair, just hands up like this. But
I like
see
hold
you.
a glass up to her
See
mouth.
you, you accountant. You come in here. You take my job.
Well, you can't exactly serve
Next
right
went a
now.
little funny, and I did hear.
Cal,
Kelly's
for
dead.
fuck's sake, at least give her a straw.
Yeah,
Aye, I'm a bit
I put
busy.
the drink on the table in front of her and put a straw in it.
Aye, sorry, I
curly
had
straw.
a.
Yep.
Sorry, I had
Kelly
a bit
is
of a.
dying.
I had a bit of a Golgotha moment, so I'm a little bad with my hands right now.
It's like a curly straw, silly straw, in her drink, so she can lean forward and sip out of it.
Thank you, Cal.
I'm gonna say that McLean is a fan of niche comedy movies, and he just looks at her. He looks at Morag and goes, "Was that a reference?"
Aye, to the fucking Bible. You know, big cunt, good dress, big beard, holes in his hands.
I apologise. I thought you were trying to imply that you'd had a really terrible time because I thought
the
you were
shit
talking about
demon
the
called it
Golgotha shit
Malavi.
demon. Yeah.
No man, that's what I got. How do you think he got the job? Points at Buck.
Gestures
am-
at Buck.
You can point with a, like her fingers still move. She just can't lift anything because you know.
That's fair.
I was not here to cast aspersions against persons who may or may not. I don't really know what you do. I'm assuming you hit people, given how big you are.
Or just because I'm big, I hit people. Buck, don't try to be clever.
Well, that was
Sorry.
what I did when
Sorry,
I was
boss.
big, and now I'm bigger, so I hit more people.
Stop trying to be clever. Sorry, boss.
Buck, do you want like a glass of like cement or something?
Okay, now that's racist.
Fake
I don't know
cow.
if you still have any internal injuries, if that would like help. You know, clear out the system.
Right. Much as that's all been
He
very,
just
very
picks up
entertaining.
Cal by his head
I'm gonna.
and puts
Cal's
him
neck
down
elongates.
very gently and just puts him down out of his eye line. Just
Fair enough.
Now, much as that was very entertaining, I'm just gonna bring the focus back to the situation at hand, which is planning our counterattack against Don Caligieri.
Yeah, I feel like you pulled out that skull as if it was gonna say something.
sorry, was I meant to talk?
There we go.
Everybody
Fucking hell.
looks
Oh,
down.
what the fuck?
Effie
I
just
just
takes
said
up
this
the-
was a person, right? How'd you know expect her to talk?
I did expect her to talk. I was hoping it didn't happen. It was kind of freaky.
All right, the skull floats into the air, and a skeleton of green light begins to grow from the base of the skull, elongating out into spine and ribs and bones, fingers, arms, and then flesh begins to cover it, again still glowing green from the veins to the muscles, and finally the skin and clothing, until a slightly translucent green glowing version of Astrid is sat on the end of the sofa.
Hey, Astrid, did you get my packages?
I did. I quite liked them. Peter, shut your mouth.
Please tell him that more.
Peter's just standing there. Yes, I'm not as dead as you thought. We've got a little bit of we have our problem with the Dawn. What resources do we have to deal with him? Because honestly, I think at this point, subtlety, subterfuge are a little bit on the back foot, and we've reached the all-out violence state.
Well, resources. We have the people in this room.
All formidable.
Gina, I
some-handed.
imagine we can rely on the Kingsman.
Well, not entirely. We're still kind of fighting our own battles. Half Uptown is still on fire.
Well, as long as you're holding off the Don's men and we don't have to deal with an army of people, that's great. You're already doing a good
Well,
job.
now, I will hold my hand up and say I did maybe overstep some authority, if anybody here figures they're more in charge than I was at the time. But I did suggest to Gene and his boys that the best thing to do was divide their forces and try and keep the Don's men occupied in Uptown and keep the Don's forces focused here, so that basically, so we know where.
I mean,
So
that we've been trying to do that, but trying to preventing loss of life kind of ended up on the top of that list because there's some innocent people getting caught in those fires.
I mean, understandable, but it does still mean that in terms of what few advantages we can claim, we know where the majority of the Don's forces are.
See,
So
I'm not
there
sure.
is a reasonable.
From what a couple of my boys have been telling me, it seems less like they're moving around en masse and more like they've got a couple of people moving fast and lighting fires and blowing stuff up. They're trying to cause chaos, not necessarily fight. So
Okay, that's new information. So actually what we have is we have some fannies running around setting things on fire who aren't Alessandro and the big guy.
Yeah, no sign of them since you stepped out of the club.
Okay, but there's still folk running around setting fire to use businesses. Or are they attacking the businesses? Like, describe to me exactly what's going on so that we can make so that we have a solid understanding of where we are right now for the beginning of any form of counterattack.
It always seems like anywhere we're not looking, something bursts into flames or explodes. And we're too busy trying to deal with making sure people aren't, cleaning up after and making sure people aren't getting caught, that we haven't been able to find the people who are doing it. They're fast.
McLean is going to just subtly. Is it Meg who's here, or is it
Alex?
No, it's
Alex.
Is it Alex? Aye, well, it would be Alex. McLean is going to just subtly / unsubtly catch Alex's eye and do the most imperceptible eye roll he can get away with, so that she catches how very inefficient he feels the King's men are being in terms of information gathering and relaying.
It's been an hour. Cut them some slack.
No.
She gives
How
you...
dare they not know exactly what's going on all over the city within an hour of it happening?
She gives you a look back that just goes, civilians, right?
What? That's the police officer superiority going on over here.
Just that moment of fucking, it's like members of the public. They think they're so helpful.
Funny that the king's area he controls is 100 times more peaceful than any area patrolled by the police. Wonder why that is.
Are you saying that out loud?
Because none of that's happened. None of that was out loud. That was a look. That was a glance.
I know. I'm looking at them.
Could say, and if you say that out loud, obviously the response from McLean is, "Aye, very peaceful, sure." Right. So, what you're saying is that we don't know much at all, but currently your forces are entirely occupied with the attempt to rescue civilians. Is that an acceptable summary?
Well, we've still got. There's some of the more better fighters are guarding the king himself while he gets his medical attention, and there's me, and yeah, that's about it. Everybody else is out fighting fires and trying to catch whoever's blowing the place up.
Right. Okay. In which case, then, that leaves us with not to go on less than I thought we had, for which I apologise to the room at large.
Does it
So,
really matter what everyone else, other people are doing? At the end of the day, what we need to do is just all-out attack, because that's what it's going to come to at the end.
We need.
yeah,
to
but we
take
don't know where he
guns
is.
first.
Aye. That was what the knowing where other people would have been helpful, is if we had a plan to throw him out or try and set up our own arena, pull him into a trap of some kind, or anything like that. But as it stands, we don't have that information. The
Hang
only
on.
thing that... Sorry.
Let me get that
Yes?
information for you. I know a guy who knows where they are hiding at the minute.
We'll come back to that. See, something about this strikes me as weird. This is Morag speaking up. See, your man's a tyrant. He likes to deal with things through serious force. He's been cloak and dagger up to now because people still thinking his deed has been beneficial to his mission. But if he was if he wanted to, and he dealt with with the big man himself, you'd think that he'd try to just wipe yous off the fucking map. But if he's resorting to these, hit and run strategies, maybe he doesn't have the manpower that we thought he might.
Well, we did take out his second in command in a...
I did also throw a building at the building that had most of his men in it.
You trashed his fucking restaurant, and you dropped and you blew up his fucking second in command, who,
and
if I remember correctly, was something of the strategic genius.
No, he wasn't.
Well, I can't.
To be fair,
not for very long he was.
Well, he's fucking dead. That's the important part.
He's dead, and his son and his big enforcer boy, were beaten up fairly heftily, an hour ago. So.
Oh, yeah. It should be noted to the room that we are gonna have to kill his son before we're gonna be even capable of killing him. Something to do with souls being linked. I'm not really sure.
That's good information.
Getting the second in command didn't come without its costs either.
Aye.
Well, let me just, because I did take his head off with a brick. Well, actually, with a drain cover. And it obviously didn't phase him overly much. He just kind of recovered. Can't entirely describe how he kind of shimmered and was okay again. But you're saying that if his son is dead, that will not happen.
Nuts.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just, I don't. This is me as a player.
So what the deal is?
Remembering what she said.
What the deal is that, and Effie would know this too because she was there with Luciana as well.
McLean was also there.
No, McLean was not there when Luciana described this. Because I think she described
was
this.
it not in front of all of us before we left?
Oh, I thought she was describing it as you guys were taking her to the dock rats.
Maybe it was.
I think she did the details while it was the dock rats. So.
Basically, the thing that McLean experienced is one of Caligieri's abilities. That is something he can do where he basically, whenever he is fatally injured, he can essentially revert himself back to an earlier state.
Yes, the save scum.
Yeah, he save scums.
Yeah, the save scum.
Yeah.
But I thought the save scumming was because of Luciana and Alessandro.
No. Because
that's timey-wimey.
Because if you remember correctly, the whole thing with Peter, Red, King, and Astrid, when they first killed him, they went through a whole thing to get around his save scumming. The reason he came back was because of Alessandro and Luciana. That was the reason they couldn't kill him permanently.
Yeah, that's why he came back. So we have to kill them first, and then figure out a way to kill him anyway.
Or find a way to sever their connection.
Yes. I don't think we're going to sever his connection with Alessandro without taking his head off.
Yeah, because Luciana is doing it by blanking her own memory.
Yeah.
By her estimations, you're going to need to kill Alessandro.
Done.
Okay, so we kill him. We kill Alessandro, but the Don can still do this wavy, and then he's okay. Hang.
Yeah, Astrid, Peter, you guys got around that last time. How did you do it?
Well, what we did was sort of fourfold. Firstly, King, God, I hate that nickname, killed him. Overwhelming force. That sword of his will put just about anybody down. Then Peter, using some kind of shape-shifting illusion bollocks, tricked his mind or his state or something, nearly killed him, into not going back. I held his soul away from his body as it was leaving, and then Red guided it away into an afterlife, which is also how Red became how she is, if I remember correctly. It took all of us going all out to do that. So, speaking mechanically, basically what she is describing is all four of them undergoing a stop holding back at the same time, to deal with Caligieri's various issues.
So,
and I thought that would kill him, but apparently the link with his children, if what you're saying is true, brought him back. Do we know if he's linked to anyone else?
As far as we heard from Luciana, no. But he could have been lying about that to her. It's hard to say. So what I'm figuring from this is there is a limit that he can go back in time. He can put his own body back in time. Right? Like a time limit, maybe? Because otherwise, like, surely he didn't get tricked forever. If he was dead and he came back, maybe he would just revert himself back. Like, what would be the point of him hiding if he could just get his full power back by reverting himself to how he was?
These children could grow up.
Maybe. I mean, sounds like from this fight, Red went too far. Astrid died, as far as everyone was concerned.
I died a little later, but fair.
Oh. Well, by the time he revived, I don't know why he hid for so long. It's my point. If he thought the only people that could beat him were gone, why not just take by storm? If there's a time limit, that means we just need to make him think he's alive.
Here's the thing.
As he's dying.
There's any number of reasons why he could have stayed, why he would have stayed gone, even if he thought we were even if he thought we were long gone. Maybe he's just one man. Maybe he needed time to build his organization up again. Maybe he needed time to change things. Maybe it took him a while to come back from the dead. We don't know.
Again, the problem is that we don't know anything about him.
The short and immediate term, though, I feel like Cal may have a point. You know, this wavy and then he comes back alright thing that he does, if that has, you know, if that's him going back maybe like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that, if you just encase him in, I don't know, or, you know, say you were able to pin him down at the bottom of the ocean, say, then surely if you hold him down there for long enough, then you run out any possible time limit he's got. So every time he takes himself back, he's still underwater. You take my meaning? There could absolutely be something in that.
It's only time. He doesn't move in space.
Aye.
We could. Speaking of space, and he just kind of points up, we could try throwing him out there. I mean, even if he can live up there, what's he gonna fucking do? He's not here anymore. It's not our problem.
I'm sorry, are you saying that our strategy is catapult him into the sun? Because if we can pull that off, I'm down for
Who's
that.
speaking?
That sounds like a great time. Pizza.
atmosphere. I mean,
I mean,
if we can pull it off.
Buck just kind of raises a hand.
Yeah.
See, I know we got a boy who can teleport, and a few of us here are pretty strong, but I don't think any of us are strong enough to chuck a cunt into escape velocity.
Well,
No, but that.
At least not,
not with
at least,
that attitude. However, we do have someone who is more technical minded. Quentin?
well, the possibilities for space travel are rather. I may have been building a space rocket in my yard, but only a very small one. Not for manned missions. But I do.
I mean, he doesn't need to survive up there. The plan is to kill him.
Well, the point is one of mass. In order to launch something into the beyond the atmosphere, you have to be very careful about the mass, because the mass has an exponential effect on the amount of fuel you require.
Okay. That's where Cal might come in. Are you able to Looney Tune other people?
What? What do you mean by that?
Well, am I right in thinking your whole thing is toon physics?
Yeah, cartoon shit.
So, are you able to grab someone and scrunch them into a ball like you would see in Tom and Jerry?
Well, I mean, you've seen it before. I did it on Meg. I didn't scrunch her into a ball, but I cartoonified her to stop her from getting hurt any worse. It would probably take a hell of a lot more to do it on someone who's actively resisting. I can give it my best shot.
I think there's another problem. This is Alex speaking. His ability to stop time. Because if we do scrunch him into a ball and launch him into space, what's to stop him from, on the time between being launched to hitting the atmosphere, stopping time? And I'm pretty sure the guy's very durable. I'm pretty sure he could survive the fall.
This is where I might come in. I could look at his story and perhaps tweak it.
Huh?
My mythos is a trickster one, about stories and being cunning, but being the keeper of stories means that I can exert some control over them sometimes if I push myself. It does, as I imagine with all things, come with a cost. I kind of look to Gladys to see if I'm saying this right.
Gives you a little curt nod.
So I could possibly make him freeze so he doesn't get an opportunity, or something along those lines.
This sounds like the beginning of a plan. So, if the frontline fighters among us are able to keep him occupied for a sufficient duration, you reckon you could potentially do something that would keep him in place to then tie him to a rocket? Or cartoonify him, or something of that ilk.
It's not something I've done before. I've been able to look at people's stories. I've not amended one before. I do remember a lot of shattering at one point, but other than that.
Okay, so that's a maybe. Hold it in my back pocket. In the meantime, though, the cartoonifying of somebody is something that has been done, and that we think could be advantageous for putting the Don into a location where his ability to reset himself or whatever is negated. Yes?
I think I could. I mean, I could try my best.
There's still the one last problem of we have no idea where to find him. Actually, Alex raised her hand. Actually, that's not going to be a problem. Well, sundown is in about 2 hours.
Follow Tiffany.
Follow Tiffany, because she won't. She absolutely.
If anyone's going to find him.
She absolutely won't tell any of us. That's not how she operates, but she knows where he is. Sorry, Tiffany? My older sister, Tiffany, the Midnight Ripper. Anybody gonna...
You okay, Peter?
She's not joking.
This is Jean kind of going, wait, what?
She's the Midnight Ripper is somewhat involved. I have recently discovered that the Midnight Ripper is not a serial killer of normal people, but a serial killer specifically you cunts when you do something wrong, so that's good to know.
You mean us cunts?
Us cunts.
I like it. I like it or not, indeed, man. Yous are one of us cunts now.
I'm slowly getting there.
Here's one of the other problems. What if Alessandro isn't with Caligieri? We have to kill him before we do any of this.
Someone else needs to find him.
So
Effie kind of raises her hand. Remember, I know a guy that knows where he is.
Okay. Bing. So, that being the case then, bing, bing. That would suggest
your
that what
mic
we
isn't being picked up,
should
John.
probably press... Oh, sorry. That would...
I think it's too loud, whatever you're doing. No, sorry, Johnny's trying to do a beep noise, I think, and I think it's clipping.
I think it's too high pitched is what it is.
Yeah.
Beep. Bing, bing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the laptop with the shadowy avatar, messages are appearing on it.
Oh. What does it say?
It says... It says Alessandro Luca Caligieri. It has his date of birth. It has his national insurance number. It has his blood type. The picture of what you think might be a driver's license. And a little message that just says, "Pinging phone now. You're welcome."
Sick. I love 5.
You've never met him?
I love him. What's his blood type?
AB positive.
Fuck you, man.
I kind
You
of...
knew what I was trying to do. That's the universal receiver, isn't it?
No. Yes,
No.
I think AB positive is the universal.
This.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oneg is the
I can't just inject him with the wrong blood and
I
kill
know
him.
Oneg is universal. Right, I thought all pause was universal receipt.
Razor, that would
No.
also take probably a little while
what?
to kill him. He'd have to go into rejection.
When
Be
was
funny.
that an option?
I just found if we knew his blood type, it could have been an option. You don't want to inject him with the wrong blood.
Then I've still got some of those. Well, look, if
Wait,
we're going
I
to
just
inject him with
injected
shit, I've
with
still
air.
got some of those neurotoxins.
Just inject
Why
him
not
with
both?
air. Give him a what's it called, pulmonary.
Because we want him to have less blood.
Right. Well, if that's the case, then it strikes me that we go in potentially 2 teams. If they're both at the same location, then we're all the one team. But I think if they're in 2 locations, we have one team that goes after and kills Alessandro, and the other bigger team is going after the Dawn.
One
So-
could potentially, and I look over at one as I say this, could get the Alessandro team to back us up when you guys, I'm going to say when, optimistically, when you guys kill him.
I would agree with that. I think having the Alessandro team being the most mobile and able to come and back up the Dawn team is a very good plan. If others agree with that.
Yeah, there's one sort of thing there. This is number 11. This is 11 putting his hand up.
11 is
Go
here.
for it.
Yeah, 11's here. He's been quiet through this whole thing. He's like, so I'm here as a representative of the rest of us, and I'll admit I have been sent here with some conditions upon him. Sorry, it's 0. It's 0, not 11. I changed that.
Right, yeah.
So I'm here with a little bit of with a couple of conditions upon the continued services of myself and number 1.
Go on.
Okay.
When all this is all over, 13 over there has got to come with us. Points at Mal.
Why?
She sort of turns to look at number 1 and is like, "Come with you where? Don't you guys operate out of the same city?"
He kind of just shrugs and is like, I don't know, I'm not the one who was given the conditions here.
She like turns to look at 0 and sort of like,
21
"Come with you where?"
21 has some things that apparently you are to be involved in.
Okay, sure. I mean, like, I mean, provided we survive this, I was kind of hoping to find out more about you guys and my powers anyway. Like, I don't.
Well, then we're all agreed
But
then.
we're kind of still focusing on the survive this part, right?
Well, I don't think
Cal
that's a
just
problem.
kind of
I don't think that's a problem for you.
Well,
leans over to Mal and whispers in her ear, "Don't trust cults."
McLean
just
is going to
looks
raise
like-
his hands and just be like,
Stranger danger.
since I'm apparently chairing this meeting, God help us all, but that does very much seem like a personal issue between the 21 of you, or however many of you happen to be involved in this conversation.
yeah, I thought I made it pretty clear when I like came to you guys for help that I, joined the club. Like, if 21 needs something, if 21 needs something from me, we can discuss that after this. Like, but right now we need. I want to make sure.
Oh my god, Mal's turned into a robot.
Live to see tomorrow.
Aye, so since, we don't have ownership of this young lady. She would like her friends to see tomorrow. You are here here presumably also wish to be alive. I am hoping from you being here that you are also interested in being alive in a city where the Dawn is not in charge. Is your organization on board? Are you empowered to say anything like that?
If our conditions are met, then yes, we will happily lend you all our assistance.
You said conditions plural. What else?
Well, that's the interesting part. Alright. That is like he turns and is like, well, from the dragon, we require a particular text. You know the one. From, let's see. Oh God, sorry, I'm genuinely blanking quite hard on what I was going to say here.
Interrupt. That's fine. I'm going to interrupt him anyway.
Um,
I'm sorry. You're asking things of them as well. I thought that this was between us. Like,
well, we do all.
we're not like.
There seem to be a bit of a cabal of people here, and it's not just you.
Yeah, okay, Zero, you're chill, like, it's fine, but, like, you do understand that right now our plan involves us getting backup, and everyone here has working legs, so you have a very small amount to offer, and you're asking for a lot, so maybe tone it down a little bit.
Yes, you.
Damn, son.
You seem to be labouring under the misapprehension that I give a fuck about your opinion, and that we have so little to offer. Because here's the interesting thing: we can kill Alessandro, and we can do it a hell of a lot easier than you can. And also,
Maybe Zero.
we
Maybe leave with that next time.
We also know how the Dawn made his little tethers. And we know how to ensure that they've been broken.
I turned
Leading
Cal
with that
turns
would
to
have
one.
also been cool.
Cal turns to one and goes like, "This guy's your spokesperson." He opened with the demands and not what he has to offer.
Hey, bro,
Seriously?
look. You have no idea how low in the pecking order I really am.
Oh, I mean, you're one.
And he's
Okay.
0.
You're
Oh.
kind of.
Not with the numbers mean.
Is that not how that
No,
works?
It's not.
Not how that
It's
works.
not.
Wow, that's terrible.
Okay, so having established that your organization are Billy Big Bollocks. Various people have disagreements, none of which is important right now. We are all agreed the important thing is dealing with Don Caligieri. You have said that you have a number of conditions, and if these conditions are not met, then none of your organization will offer any assistance.
Precisely.
That is correct.
Precisely.
Right. Your
Okay.
conditions so far are you have a condition for Mal Ashford that she join you for dinner afterwards. You have a condition for Gladys, sorry, I don't know your last name, that she surrender a book to you.
Effie just kind of like gives Gladys a hand going, he's new, he doesn't know anything.
Gladys is sitting very, very still, and her eyes have gone yellow.
Effie just pinches
good-
the bridge of her nose.
I would again like to apologise. At large, I'm doing my
Look,
best to summarise
I
things.
think
No, Gladys
she's
is doing-
angry at
You're-
Zero.
Her
Her
not
eyes
you.
are fixed on Zero, who just asked for one of her books.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not gonna give you the
Zero.
book.
Zero. I will do whatever it is that you ask of me just now in order for your help. But I have no control over the rest of these people.
We also have a condition for the scientist.
Gwent.
Oh fuck.
What's your condition?
I was going to say, that's because deep breath from McLean. He doesn't need to breathe, but he takes a deep breath to fortify himself.
Professor
And
Catonian,
what would that be?
we need him to build a particular device.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
Professor, the plans should already have arrived at you. Oh, was that what that was? But I rather thought I'd been blacklisted by the postal services.
Okay,
I
so
really don't want to
it
set
just
up
goes.
the season 2 villains by beat the season 1 villain. You know, like it doesn't seem like a good idea.
Did you say that, or?
I said that out loud. He's breaking the fourth wall again.
What? What are you talking about, Kyle?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look,
I think
you want a freaky book from the magical library. You want someone to build you a mysterious device, and you need her for your mysterious plans. This sounds like you're trying to do some pretty. This is like very spooky stuff.
Look,
and you're called the
these
Cult of
guys-
Cards.
I think they work off favors, the same way Effie works off information, and like the Dawn works off money or fucking murder or whatever the fuck. I think it's just their version of a transaction here. Compensation for whatever lives they might lose or resources they might lose for helping us with this.
Yeah, but if they want to build
look,
a big fucking death ray and blow up
I know
the city-
that. Look, guys, and I address this to the room at large. I'm like, look, I know that I'm technically a part of this organization now, but I don't speak for them, and I have basically just met a lot of them. They're not gonna. They have no reason to help me out of the goodness of their hearts, and if this is what the compensation that they need for whatever they might lose in helping us, taking out Alessandro so that all of us can focus on Caligieri, that's a huge win.
Okay,
So,
if they build a
I'll
death
agree to
ray, that's on you.
I'll agree to my part of the conditions.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to force obviously I can't force anyone else to do the same thing, but
Hey, Quentin,
think about what we, please guys, think about what we stand to gain here.
Well,
Tell you
obviously, this is favours asked of individuals, so it is down to yourselves, Gladys and Quentin.
Well, let's give it a second. Mal,
Yeah?
you have just made a little bit of an impassioned speech. So could you please roll to convince?
Okay.
Yay! The first roll of the night!
First roll of the night, we're an hour and a half in.
Yay!
Does anybody
Let me see,
have any... does anybody have any help points for Mal? Because I'm not going to lie, this could be quite an important role.
I do it, weirdly.
Yay!
I'll burn a help point for this.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Can I also add people person?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
Anybody else?
So am I rolling +2?
Not unless anybody else wants to add to this.
I can't. I'm not even really sure I want it to succeed. These guys seem sketchy. But I'm not gonna go as far as to use a hurt point.
Dude. No.
Ooh.
I could use a hurt point. That'd be really
I mean,
funny.
That's
that's
your
your
prerogative, man.
prerogative. Like, if you don't agree with the choice that I'm making, then that is 100% your prerogative.
It's not a good or a bad decision, it just makes it spicy.
It does just make it spicy.
I think Cal disagrees, but I don't think Cal would actively try and hinder you persuading them. So I don't think I'm going to.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, I've got a neutral from Cal and a help point from McLean. Effie, you want to weigh in?
So I do have a help point. However, Effie doesn't like the thought of Mal putting herself in danger because she's kind of been adopted at this point. So the thought of
Mal see it as being in danger.
and she doesn't like not knowing what's going on, so she's kind of.
Alright, that is 1 help and 2 abstaining then.
Sorry, use a heart point. Do it.
Did Barry
do
use a
it.
heart point? Did I
No,
miss
he
that?
didn't.
No,
Oh.
Chris is
No,
just
Barry,
encouraging
do
her
it,
to do
do it.
so.
Do it. Do it.
So,
I
Wait.
do also have a heart point.
That what have I done? Why'd you all have hurt points for
You
me?
just
But I'm
suck.
not going to use any points.
they're mostly from the beginning of the campaign.
That's fair. That's fair. We didn't all get on very well. So that is 2 abstaining, 1 help point, and I've got an extra point from my jack of all trades people person. thing.
Yeah, that makes this a +2.
And no chance I can use the common man as well.
Let's look at the tag. It does say you know how to talk to regular people.
Yeah, these
It
I was
does
gonna say,
specify regular
this is-
people.
This
These are
is the
not regular
worst
people.
room for this tag
Fair.
that you could have possibly
Fair
picked.
enough. I'll roll +2 then.
Roll +2.
That's a 6. And a 1. So that's a 9.
That's a 9.
I'll take it.
Is nobody has a help to push this into a 10.
Okay, I'll help.
Yeah!
Stick to your
Hey.
guns, Barry.
A mixed success could have meant Gladys keeps her book.
A mixed success I will take, but if you want to use the help point to make it a full success, I would appreciate it, but it's up to you how you spend your points.
Very grumpy
McLean-
now because I'm conflicted.
Well, so am I. I'm like, McLean is on Mal's side. I, as a player, am furious at the idea that Gladys is going to have to give up a book.
I mean,
I don't like
look,
the idea of the machine. I don't know what
Barry.
the machine is, but I feel like it's like a nuke or something.
Barry, stick to your first instinct. It's fine. Just leave it as a mixed success. See what Jay does with it.
Okay. I feel like we're gonna need that help point in the end game, so.
Yeah.
That is extremely fair enough.
Alrighty then.
Speaking of which, in the end game, Effie be near me. I have 3 help points for you.
You know what? Fair point.
God,
I have a heart point for you.
Fuck.
I've got a help for Cal and McLean. I also have a hurt point for Clark that I haven't gotten rid of. Even though he's dead.
You wanted to keep
Anyway.
that.
Let's resolve
I did,
it
I want
now.
to keep it as a memento.
So, Quentin says, "Oh, I suppose I could offer. My services can be offered in order to maintain the greater good." Gladys stands up.
Oh fuck.
My private collection is not for the hands of others. But if the Cult of Cards are willing to put something else on the table in exchange, perhaps an arrangement could be reached. And just what exactly is it you want? I want the deck.
So that
What the
You have in your possession a particular copy of the Tarot de Marseille. You know exactly the one I mean. Zero kind of leans back. Done.
Fair enough.
Gladys she takes a deep sigh, breathe out, and you all see smoke curl from her nostrils. As she sits
And Effie
down.
pulled donuts out her magical bag for Gladys.
Spears one on a finger and eats it whole.
You don't have hammer space. I have hammer space. Stop taking my shit.
Nah, she's got a pocket full of donuts.
Just for emergencies.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay,
Yep.
mechanically, what does that mixed success mean?
I'll never do.
What does that mean for me? What are the consequences? I'm scared.
Well, okay. The convince move.
Johnny,
the convince
the devious
move.
smile doesn't work if Kelly isn't looking at the camera.
No, it doesn't, because why would she
Also,
look down?
Jay's been frozen for me for the last hour or so.
Oh,
so
I think
we
that's your.
won't know
I
what-
think that's your internet.
That is your problem.
Yeah.
The
Everyone else
convince
is fine.
move. The convince move specifically says, on a 7 to 9, they give in a little, but protect their own agenda.
That makes
That's what Gladys was just doing. If you'd
Fair
scored a full
Fair enough.
success, she would have given up the book.
But this way she's asked for something else.
Yes.
So she's asked for a trade. Which, fair enough, because I think if anyone had normally asked Gladys for a trade without something like this being on the line, then they would have been merged with this.
Yeah, she'd have eaten them, yeah.
So we
No,
don't have to
don't
touch
I?
Alessandro. You guys got it.
It'll be done.
Okay. If you know how the tethers are made, do you know if he's tethered to anyone else?
Just his children. The connection has to be strong. Blood relatives are sort of the only thing that really work. And as far as we understand from our intelligence, the Don doesn't have any other living relatives. His wife has been dead for 8 years, and both of his children are now, well, one of them, it has abandoned him and is about to wipe her own memory. The other will be dead within 3 hours.
Effie kind of mutters under her breath. Seems like all the wives are kind of falling off the face of the earth, apparently.
Well, I didn't hear you. You were speaking really quietly. What was that? Cal says this. This is not Fraser. Cal says.
No, just that sounds.
Okay, so we just need to come up
Yeah.
with a full plan for the Dawn then.
Aye, so that streamlines things a little bit. So, Task Force 1, Cult of Cards, use or hand the boy. That'll be dealt with. That leaves the rest of us to come up with a plan for. Now, as it stands currently, the vaguest plan that I have proposed, anyone is welcome to weigh in on it, is that the frontline fighters attempt to distract the Dawn long enough for either Effie or Cal or a combination of the two are able to immobilize and punify him, thus allowing us to launch him either into space or into the bottom of the ocean, whichever
Yeah,
is
I
closest.
think kick the shit out of him until Effie disables his time stop, and then I launch him into the sun.
I vote space. He can, if we put him at the bottom of the ocean, we need to find something heavy enough to keep him down. And
I mean, he could swim.
I think he can swim.
He could probably swim.
Also,
So-
he'll probably float.
Forces, do we? So okay, right. Thank you, everybody. Let's try. So we've agreed space. We've
Space.
agreed space.
Everyone space.
The one-
Space.
We're gonna
space,
send him
space.
to the one place not corrupted by capitalism.
Space! We love you, Tim Curry.
I'll figure
It's a
something out.
person
to get him
very
to
cool.
space.
Also, can I just say something?
Yeah?
when I set out and started this campaign with you guys, and I came up with this villain and all these threats, not once did I think throw him into the sun was gonna come up as a possible win state.
You should have known better. You know us.
Yeah.
We did mention it a few episodes ago as a joke, and now it's our real plan.
It's actually what we're doing.
We're going to throw him in space. I could probably pull it off.
Big cartoony
Right.
cannon. Yeah.
If the dice fail me on that day, I will cry.
So, just so I'm
Nothing to do with the hard
clear,
point.
what available resources do we have to bring to bear that might be of assistance to the plan as sketched out? Please go around the room and anything you think you can do to help, and or tell us if you're
Okay,
not
easier way to
interested or
do that.
have
Put your hand up if
amendment
you
to the
can
plan.
fight. Put your hand up if you feel like you aren't going to get instantly killed by the dawn. I put my hand up.
Okay.
Al kind of
So-
puts her hand halfway up.
Gladys raises her hand.
McLean raises his hand.
Buck is like,
I have a suggestion. If we need to set a trap, I could be bait. Like, it's going to put me out of commission for the rest of the fight, but, like, I'll get, like... If it gives you guys a chance to, like, spring this on him.
Well, if
Like, I'll get better.
if
If he does manage to get me.
Tisiphone's going to go and hunt him down anyway, then
Tiffany
trying
will be
to bait
building
him into a
it.
trap might not be effective because she might get him en route, and that would kind of ruin the trap.
there's
Actually-
also something else.
Of course.
Well, Alessandro might be dealt with, but doesn't he still have that big cunt? What fucking killed you?
Atlas.
We don't
Yeah.
know where he will be. He might be guarding Alessandro. That would seem reasonably likely to me. I don't imagine the Don wants to leave his son unguarded.
Fives, any
given
info
how-
on Atlas?
None yet.
So we've got a couple of
You've
hours
not
to
got
try
me.
and figure
You've
out.
not given me a lot to go
Very
on
right.
here.
That's why it's a good thing that we have a lot of frontline fighters. Separate them.
Because,
Do both things simultaneously.
we're going to need to deal with the Don, his boys, and your big boy.
Aye.
I honestly think with this crowd, anyone other than the mainline fighters are not going to be much of a problem. Like Atlas and the Dawn, I thought we're really going to have to worry about. The rest of them probably going to be piece of piss, honestly.
Does anyone have anything
Honestly,
that
Gladys
they
could probably
could...
deal with them single-handedly with her fire.
Does anybody
Yeah,
have anything? Does anybody else at the meaningful glances at the likes of Astrid and Jean and the people who represent groups, even like Alex. Like, does anybody else
I gotta
have
run to the
anything?
bathroom. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No worries. Does anyone else have anything that they think that they can bring to this combat?
I don't think I can spare that many men. I've got an army of skeletons.
Skeletons could be fun.
Army of skeletons sounds
That's
positive.
pretty cool. Robin, do you think any of them fuckers, any of them clowns over at the court would help?
Well, it's interesting to see because we don't really like Caligieri because
No.
a city where he's in charge just wouldn't be as fun because it wouldn't be as varied. You know, he's very monomaniacal that way. But I suppose we could cause a little bit of chaos.
If you can occupy as many of the regular enemies, allowing us to focus our fire, that would be great.
Rain of rubber ducks it is!
The goons.
With the power vacuum that would be left with Caligieri, we should probably put some form of system in place.
What?
What do you mean?
What did you
Is
say?
there
As in,
other
like,
criminal?
try and put into place a successor for the territory that he's gonna lose. I mean,
If
realistically, that becomes.
I think that's a
and
problem
he
for
does-
whoever lives.
I was gonna say, McLean does the apologetic shrug to Alex and goes, "At that point, it's a police problem, isn't it?"
Yeah, it is. But that unfortunately seems like it'll, unless someone here's planning to make a grab, then nature will take its course in that particular direction.
well, hang on.
Are you planning to make a grab, Effie?
I'm already one of his biggest threats. I have a network.
You understand you're talking to the police right now about taking over a crime organization's territory as a new crime organization. You maybe want to keep that discussion for
To be honest,
later?
with you, I'm more in favour of her doing it than Don Caligieri.
I mean, yeah,
If
but
only because I know that
Still a
our dear
cop.
Effie here has a bit of an aversion to murder most of the time.
I do. I don't purposely go out my way to harm people. Most of it's an act. She shoots Peter a look, and then Buck, and then she just scrunches her eyes, just going. All I'm saying is, it's better to have a plug than have everything sink.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you said it's all just an act. I don't like hurting people. And then she shoots Peter.
That would have been peak.
That
That
would
would
be
be
crazy.
crazy. Just bang.
Look, Hen. I think we should burn that bridge when we get to it.
Aye, no, that's fair, but it's a thought for afterwards if everything works out.
Okay, I think we probably want to split our forces like 70-30 between the Dawn and Atlas, if they're both there, even.
If Atlas is there, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Well,
So-
there we go. I was about to ask who's on Atlas duty. Probably don't want you going mano a mano though, just to better
mean,
the
I
odds.
just about did in that building now.
Me
and that was
and
after-
Effie have to be on Caligieri duty.
That's true.
Who else can fight?
And we have an army of
Maddie,
skeletons.
Buck, Mal. An army of skeletons are going to be on the goons.
I mean, if you don't mind, do you mind if I don't go up against the Dawn again? Because
I was about to say you might want to go up against Atlas. Might be more your speed.
because the last time Cunt kind of hit me once and I went down.
Yeah, I patched it up.
Yeah, no, I'm no proud of it, but aye. So I'll go with the sergeant.
Look, Atlas's thing is hitting hard. Your thing is hitting hard. The sergeant's thing is hitting hard. It's a pretty good matchup if you ask me. Just hit harder.
Brief Theo cameo there.
You,
King's kind of out of commission if we're going in like 3 hours. Gladys,
2 actually.
you willing to fight the Dawn?
I'll give it a shot.
Wonderful.
Effie raises her eyebrows.
Trying to remember who else is in the room.
Astrid.
Astrid, are you capable of fighting right now in this? You look kind of like a ghost.
Well, I kind of am a ghost right now. I'm not
Yeah.
really here. I'm still down. I'm still down in the kingdom of the dead.
Somewhere.
But I kind of need to be here to command my forces. So
Okay, that's
I
fine.
can't go mano a mano with anybody. But about 300 skeletons.
Luckily, we will have. So we will have Tiffany and Gladys keeping Dawn busy while me and Effie try and do our weird shite and launch him into the sun. That's pretty good firepower if I've ever seen it. But Dawn is still formidable.
Well, where are you gonna be?
Sorry, I missed the last little bit of conversation, so...
We're choosing who fights Atlas and who fights the Dawn.
Okay.
Currently, we have Chris. I've forgotten your character's name. That's crazy. McLean. We have
McLean.
and Buck against Atlas. And I was about to ask Gene if he also wanted to fight Atlas, because I also don't think that the Dawn is his speed.
No. Gene is...
Well,
Gene has stepped into a leadership position. He is definitely not anything like up to the destructive capability of his boss.
Yeah. Is Gene okay to fight, or does he have to lead? I'll ask this in character. Gene, are you okay to fight, or do you have to lead?
I got a lot of good men out there trying to keep my neighborhood in check. Trying to keep it all together. You know what? Cal, roll to convince.
Alright. I don't think I got shit for this.
Because I'm in two minds about what to do with this.
I actually don't think I have anything for this. Maybe frustration and resolve, the idea that like my resolve might inspire him.
Yeah.
Because I am just like an accountant, but I am still putting my shit on the line. Get my dice out, my little box that Kaylee made for me.
No.
So that's a +1.
You have a +1 for this.
That is a 8 total.
Okay.
5 and 2.
I'll back up the sergeant, but I'm gonna need some of them. I think I'm gonna need some of them skeletons to help deal with what's going on uptown, because we are stretched thin up there.
Dastard.
I mean, if you're not gonna object to skeletons wandering around, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can explain it to the Rifts later, and the sleepers will figure something else out in their head.
They'll see firefighters.
Aye. So, Mal.
Yeah.
Who do you want to fight? You have a choice to make.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'm going to be particularly useful against either of them, but I can certainly be a distraction.
What if I had a somewhat silly plan that I...
Oh, do tell.
Here's the thing. We strap him to a rocket and we launch him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he unstraps himself and then just, like, destroys the rocket, or, like, there isn't enough firepower or whatever? It'd be nice if we had someone there who could fall 30,000 feet and be fine, who was also strapped to the rocket, who could maybe just...
You want me to fist fight him on the rocket to make sure he stays on the rocket?
Fist fight him on the rocket to make sure he stays on the rocket.
Okay.
And I was thinking of doing that as well, but you can't die.
I do love that idea. However, can I make a suggestion?
Can I whisper this in Mal's ear? This idea, so no one hears it apart from Mal, because I don't want it to be like a. So I go over and essentially explain like, you can't.
Okay, but like,
die.
what if he wins that fight, unstraps himself from the rocket, and I get shot in space?
You won't be strapped to the rocket. Just jump off.
If she loses that fight, she's dead.
Like,
In which
Yeah,
case she'll probably
but-
fall off the rocket.
She's not dead for long.
true. I will probably just fall off the rocket. I guess I could do that.
Up to you. We'll see how it goes. It's just a suggestion. I think you should fight the Dawn. Is what I'm trying to say.
Hey, Peter,
Okay,
where are you
done.
going to be?
Yes, Peter. I remembered you were in the room.
My particular skills lie in subterfuge and trickery. So I don't know how much that's going to really play into this. Because what it seems like you need is open brute force. And it's a little and that's not really my area of expertise. So
May I make a suggestion?
I'm all ears.
Can you look like Alessandro?
He becomes Alessandro.
Ah, Alessandro.
And let's say we are beating the shit out of Alessandro for a trap.
Is this
No other reason why.
I was going to say, in your shape-shifting abilities, can you also look like Alessandro, but with a bullet through his head?
That's a bit harder. I mean, I can
imagine like sternal.
I can do this, and blood just seeps out across his chest.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not.
Well, as fuck.
Mal.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Bullet wound. Actually, simulating a bullet wound, very difficult, and this doesn't stand up to immediate inspection. Because look, doesn't actually come off. That's changes in the. Yeah,
Does it feel wet?
I mean it's
You,
kind
like,
of sticky.
Touch it. Weird.
I'm just really enjoying how resentful Effie is of everybody being impressed by that.
Okay, it'd be nice if you were there though. You know, in case we need you.
I mean, if anything, my presence will piss the Dawn off at least.
I mean, honestly, I think the main idea of the brute force team is to get him tired and distracted, and if you're good at subterfuge, even a split second of distraction could go a long way in the end. So, it would be nice to have you there.
It's an option.
Okay.
So,
Chilly in here.
So, we have we have two teams, all right? Those who are going to go after the Dawn, those who are going to go after Atlas. One of the I should have given that character a name.
Probably.
So,
I
McLean.
kind of like the fact you hadn't, though.
His name is Ronald Pickles.
His name is Ponald Rickles.
Ronald Rickles.
So, McLean, Jean, Buck, and there was someone else who was going to go with you.
Gladys.
No, Gladys was going to go after the Dawn.
Oh, this is Atlas.
It was some of the skeletons.
Had some skeletons.
Jean-
No.
No, it was just Jean, Buck, and
Right, Jean, Buck, and McLean.
McLean. The skeletons, Jean
Already more
joined
than enough.
on the condition that some of the skeletons help uptime.
Yeah. They're all going to go after Atlas. Well, Mal, Effie, Cal, Gladys, Tiffany.
Presumably also Alex.
What's Alex's combat capabilities?
Decent. Nothing compared to either of her. Well, nothing compared to Tiffany. Alex is actually the weakest of the three sisters.
Yeah, that's why I remember.
Like,
So I'm not sure she'd want to fight.
Alex.
I think I'm going to have to be around to deal with the cleanup afterwards.
Maybe evacuate.
Yeah,
Say
I
it's a
think I'm
police
going to be
exercise.
I'm going to be on crowd control.
Make a perimeter. Make sure no sleepers are caught in the
Yeah.
vicinity, because it's gonna be a big fucking fight.
Oh yeah. Get the
So
fire
that's the plan.
department on call and everything. So that's and then yeah. So Mal, Effie, Cal, Gladys, and Tiffany
And Peter.
and Peter are going after Caligieri. While the Cult of Cards
And
deals
once
with
the Atlas-
Alessandro, and then McLean, Buck, and Jean take out Atlas and the Goon
And once
Squad.
we've done with Atlas, we then transfer over to the Caligieri fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if Caligieri wins, we're all going to die anyway.
This is true. Alrighty
Number
then.
1 was going to go to the Atlas fight.
That was when we were going to be like potentially elsewhere.
Number 1 is gonna be with the numbers, I imagine. But I
Yeah,
was like
number
gonna
one's
say
the-
to number 1, if you have time and you want to show up and maybe back us up, you could teleport the injured out. Would be very useful. But I know you have there's a whole complicated deal going on, and you have like a weird relationship with this. Definitely not a cult. So.
Similarly,
You do
if
you,
your
man.
organization at any point feels that they are able to spare any powerful fighters towards the effort of fighting the Dawn, it would be greatly appreciated.
Understood. Alright.
How much time until sundown?
About an hour and 40.
An hour and 40. I was hoping it would be more for narrative reasons.
Well, we've got about 40 minutes left of the stream.
I was gonna say, you want to order takeout? Or it's our last chance to have a bit of a rest before we all probably fucking die.
Are we here doing the fucking Marvel shawarma scene?
No, that
the
was
Marvel
after the
Shawarma
battle.
scene
No,
was
that was
after
after
they
the
all
fight.
won. This is the heartfelt dinner where everyone says red flag statements before they all die.
Basically, this is where everybody gathers round, has their sort of last night on Earth, and does the we decide who's going to get red shirted.
By the way, I do assume the like dining room or whatever has a big round table because this is King's Place.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. Like, the place is looking kind of unlived. Like, he doesn't live here. Like, this is not where the king lives.
No, it's one of his safe
Yeah, very
It's a
safe
safe
house.
house.
He
His
should sort
place.
his house.
He probably decorated it.
You can very much tell that he didn't.
Oh yeah, because he'd have like Elvis shit over the
There
wall.
would be a 10-foot high mural of Elvis on one wall if he had.
But he requires a circular table in every building
Yeah, the
he
circuit-
owns.
The circular table was a thing. Because, you know, the knights might meet there, but...
Yeah.
So...
Yes. I ordered Chinese.
Yeah, okay. So, that does leave the question. Are there any last-minute preparations that any of you want to do before you move into the final fight?
Can Quentin send over anything that may be of use? Because anything we've grabbed from him in the past has been extremely helpful.
Okay. I will endeavour to do my best. I will look out and see if I will find useful equipment, and I will send it over. Anybody else? I'll take that as a no then.
Just psyching myself up.
Fair.
Kind of prepared as we're gonna get, I think.
Effie just grabs a bottle of whiskey. Oh wait, she goes over and goes, "What drink is this in the picture?"
Oh, it's just kind of looks at it. He kind of his head's like, it was something you used to make yourself. It's kind of it was a twist on a Blue Lagoon, except you used to put, you always used to put absinthe in it.
Effie looks about and tries to gather all the ingredients for a Blue Lagoon to make.
Morag gets up and helps you. I says, alright, okay. I can't remember how you make a Blue Lagoon. But it's... I know, because I know it's very much a punch drink, so you can kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
One part blue
Curacao.
Curacao, 1 part vodka, 4 parts lemonade. So absinthe instead of vodka.
Oh,
It might be
it's
absinthe
okay,
instead
Morag.
of lemonade. No, the absinthe instead of the curacao is what you would use.
But then it wouldn't be blue, would it?
No, it'd be green.
Oh.
Okay.
There was I think you used to put a bit of grapefruit juice in it as well. Sort of like somewhere between a Blue Lagoon and a sea breeze.
Someone's not an antidepressant. Kelly would have
Effie,
liked that joke if she was listening to anything that was happening.
if it helps,
I liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah. Kelly, you're not
Sorry,
playing Stardew in the
I'm a little low on brain power right now.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
sorry.
Kelly, you're not playing Stardew in the other monitor, are you?
I'm not, no.
Coward.
You're missing out.
I will be going back to playing Stardew Valley probably later, but...
Cal like sort of nods his head at Effie and is like, any particular brand of absinthe if you like? You can make up on Barry if you don't.
Well, Effie wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, Effie's had absinthe since, I imagine.
Green Fairy?
Cal pulls out a bottle of Green Fairy absinthe out of his pocket.
Right,
Sort of
okay.
hand over.
Give me that here. Use all of it.
I hand it to. I put it on the table in front of Morag.
Effie, this better be your drink, because this is gonna fucking hurt. Okay, right. Picks up the balls, starts.
Screaming the entire
No
time.
flair whatsoever. Starts assembling the drink. And as she does, everyone in the room gets that a little bit of that warm feeling, that sort of fireside feeling that you would get in the bar at the hearthside. Just a little bit. Because while this is not Morag's home, she can make it a little bit more of a home for you guys. She finishes assembling the drink, drops in a straw, stirs it round once, puts it on the table.
Effie stares at the drink. Okay. Let's see if I remember.
I better not be anything else, 'cause I am not squeezing any fucking limes tonight.
Just be glad I didn't ask you to salt the glass.
Hey, you can salt your own fucking glass.
She takes a sip.
And so I have to ask you. Is this Effie's drink?
I'm gonna roll to find out.
Yeah, fucking give me a roll.
All the odds.
It's gotta be.
What
It's
are
gotta
you
be the
rolling?
drink, right?
Odds or evens if it is or if it isn't.
Oh, so you're just doing 50-50.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
odds.
That's a 3.
Effie. You feel a sense of comfort and of warmth, and that you are in a place where everything's going to be okay. You feel home.
Effie just starts crying.
Oh.
Effie, you blink and you find yourself standing at the center of that web, the one you have reached out across so many times. Except there are new lines. There are lines leading away from you that you haven't seen before. Because you know your connections pretty well. You see, you've done this enough times. This time you see different threads, and they move in different directions. And they are again different. Normally you see these as thin strands of light that kind of move off and spiderweb out. These strands are made of mist.
Mm.
Do you follow them?
I run my finger along.
You get little flashes. You see... In fact, you don't see things. You don't see anything. You hear is a voice speaking in a language that you definitely don't know, but you understand. And it says, "Once upon a time, there was a spider. Once upon a time, there was a spider. And this is how he won the stories." And it tells you a tale of a little spider that was tired of the sky god hoarding all the stories. And so, the little spider climbed high, high into the sky and made a bet with the sky god. The spider bet him that he could bring him, that he could bring the sky god, the great python, the mighty tiger, and the Invisible Fairy. Storyteller, whispering in your ear, goes on to describe how he tricked each of them. The python with a piece of rope saying, "Oh, I don't know, I can't tell if you're longer than this piece of rope. Why don't you lie down next to it?" About how the tiger was tricked with a tree and was thrown into the sky. And how the fairy was tricked with a little wooden puppet. And the spider brought all of these things to the Sky God. And so, Sky God, being fair, gave the stories to the spider to spin and to weave across the world. The spider's name was Anansi. And Effie, as the storyteller, says the name and speaks to it, you feel that connection. And you realize, yeah, I know a guy who spins stories. It's me. And so, Vari, would you like to finally reveal your mythos?
I am Anansi.
Yeah, baby!
That's so cool.
That's really cool. I'm not gonna lie, you said there was a spider, and I was like, oh my god, she's Charlotte's Web, isn't she? And then you kept talking, I was like,
I
thank
am
fuck.
the pig.
Fraser, you knew who this was!
I did not.
Yes, you did.
You were there.
You were there when we made the characters.
1, do you think I was paying attention? 2, that was like a year ago.
Oh my god, you forgot, didn't you?
I was going to say, Fraser, did you forget by any chance?
I didn't know this entire time. I had no idea. I didn't want to know.
Well,
I'm
now
very proud of
everybody's
you for
mythos
maintaining
has been revealed.
Just in time for us all to die.
Just in time for the final battle. And you know what? We're a little bit early, but I think that is where we will end our session.
Does feel like a good closer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm Spartacus.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for joining us for this Monday night episode of City of Mist. We will be back next week with what might be our final episode. Depending on how well the battle against Don Caligieri goes. Win or lose.
Or
So good,
We'll
we're gonna
find
kick
out
his
what
ass.
happens. So thank you very much.
Asses will be kicked.
Exactly.
Who knows?
You can find us here on Twitch every Monday night. You can usually find me as well here on a Friday night because I'm sad and I don't want to go outside. Occasionally joined by some of these people to do things, random stuff. You can find all of our previous episodes and all of our previous streams on YouTube. That's youtube.com/The Brothers Honey 6403. There's numbers in there. It's fucking weird. You can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my games company, Old Alliance Games, at @old_games on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn if you're of a professional bent. Anybody got anything they would like to plug?
Don't perceive Kelly.
Nobody's
Usual,
perceived
don't
Kelly.
perceive me. Don't even look at me.
Yeah. Okay.
Kelly, I looked at you.
Fool! So now we are going to head over to Patreon to do our after show.
And you only get to see that if you give us money.
You only get to see that if
Give
you
us
give
your
us money.
money.
Patreon.com/Jonathan David Honey. I think I will double check the link. There'll be if you're watching this as a video, there will be a link in the description, and I think there's a link in the description on Twitch as well. But yeah, so thanks everybody, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.